Oh, and just like we're technically 3 minutes before 12 noon. And I wanted to make sure that we got on here nice and early so that we would be on time for Rex Thompson. Because let me tell you something right now. When we're running late, Rex gets pissed.
I get super mad. Good thing. That's why I'm never late.
You're never late to anything that you do.
If I am late, though,
yeah,
I call. I let people know
You
I
do.
am running late. Yeah, I think that's very rude not to.
I mean, we've already got comments here.
Well, how do you have comments already?
We've got them right here. They're right in front of me. Let's see. The first one, I know we haven't even started yet. Damian Hardacre. Let's get this shit show started. Right here, look. First comment out of the chute.
So you're live already. You purposely went live early because I wasn't here, didn't you?
Just in case you were running late, I was going to hammer the shit out of you. But I know that the likelihood is next to nil that you're going to be late to anything.
Especially to this show.
This is true.
Because I know you would harass the shit out of me if I was late. And that was the anxiety I was having when I was behind the old lady that I just passed on Main Street in Barrie. There was about to be a road rage incident right outside of your studio.
The last couple of times I've had you on, I think we've run like between 2 and 5 minutes late. And that's not, I mean, can't do that.
No
more. And I don't want you to kick my ass. So, you know.
If you're on time, you're late.
You know who else is like that? I'm not joking here. I mean, punctual with the capital P, DJ Hardacre.
Oh, yeah. That's why he's successful.
I think so. I think so. I would
we were
agree
having
with
that talk. We were actually having that talk today. A guy, he's a guy you need to have on the show. He's got a great story, and he just. Have you ever heard of Dave Sheridan?
Oh yeah, I know.
Out of
Dave.
Williamstown, pressure washing.
Yeah,
and
I
stuff.
know Dave.
Dude,
Sure.
the guy, the drive that guy, because we've been talking at this time of the year. This is when you always have like guys that work and stuff, or whatever. Just you'll always have guys that they're like, I need to make more money. I need to make more money. I need to make more money, and then so, but in reality, money's not going to fix their situation. Mm-hmm. They got to fix themselves first. So when I was coming up through, I can remember thinking to myself, I was working in a slaughterhouse. I was making peanuts. I was literally making like, I don't know, $10,000 a year. And I remember thinking to myself, a buddy of mine told me he had taken a new job and he was getting 18 grand a year. And I was like, oh my God, could you imagine to make $18,000 a year? I was like, I would be so rich with $18,000. And then the next step, and then I made $20,000. And I was like, if I could just make like $25,000, $30,000, I'd be all set. Well, I was never all set. Mm-hmm. You're never all set.
Because everything's relative.
Yeah.
Everything's relative.
Yeah, absolutely. Your
right?
life, and unless you're willing to change your life and stuff. So you can get more money.
Yeah.
But it's not. Is it going to change anything?
Yeah.
Is that extra $100 a week going to change your life drastically that much?
Right.
No, it's not. You got to fix things. So I have one guy, and he's on my crew, and he's always like telling them, dude, I make so much money. I have $10,000 in the bank. And the guys are like, what the fuck? How's this guy got $10,000 in the fucking bank? This is bullshit. He's making way too much money. We're getting hosed here. So they always think like that, you know? And, so I'm getting ready to get all my tax stuff ready, and I'm looking through. Well, that guy that's got the $10,000 made the least amount of money on the crew.
See?
But he doesn't spend money. He goes to the gym. He buys food. He pays his rent. He doesn't smoke cigarettes. He doesn't,
Mm-hmm. I know.
He's it just shows you like.
Grand scheme of things.
Yeah, and so he saved up in his plan, and he's saved up now. Now he's saved up $11,000 or whatnot, working out throughout the year. And he just went, we've been helping him, working with him so that he can get his credit straightened out.
Yeah.
Not straightened out, just to be at a higher level because he's younger.
Yeah.
So he's getting, but he's there. So now he's working with a bank to get him pre-approved so he can start buying houses to flip them.
Yeah.
So, and he's doing this
Good for him, man.
but he did it just by working.
Yeah.
Just by working and nest egging his money and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Tying this back to Dave Sheridan, you're talking about people that just aren't afraid to work hard. And bust their ass.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
You know, guys like him, they. So I have guys, and I've run into this in the construction business my whole life. Is you'll have guys, and they'll be like, "I need to make $50 an hour."
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
like, okay, cool. So you know this, you know this, you know this, you know this. Perfect. I'll absolutely give you $50 an hour. But what they don't tell you is they want to make $50 an hour because they only want to work 20 hours a week.
Oh.
So Dave Sheridan, if I told Dave Sheridan I was going to pay him $50 an hour, I would have to throw him off the job sites. I'd be like, dude, you've been working for 27 hours straight. You got to go home.
Yeah.
Stop.
I know.
So that's the way.
I know.
You know, those are the people. People think that their knowledge is all they need to get by in different job scenarios. Like, well,
Yeah.
I have all of this knowledge. I'm worth this much.
Yeah.
Well, yes, that knowledge is worth a certain amount, but there's more to that complete package. Like, can I depend on you to be there? Do you have a license?
Dependability is everything.
You know, can I schedule a job and then tell a customer that you're going to be there and then have you call in sick? Is that guy worth $50 an hour?
Sure.
I don't know until the morning of the job
Yeah.
if they're going to be there.
Yeah.
I have no clue.
Right.
So, you know,
There's a price tag to that shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm at the point, you know, it just me personally is I've gotten to the point where I will pay more money for new people that have these other qualities, like that drive to work.
Yeah, these inherent traits.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
the license, the non-drug habit, those things. So if they have that and they want to show up and they're, you know, and I'm like, hey, you want to do this side job here? You make all the money on this side job or whatever it is, you know.
Right.
You'll have those guys. Fuck yeah, I want to do that.
Yeah.
That's how I did it.
Yeah.
You know, I remember going all the way to Burlington to work because the guy offered me $18 an hour.
Right.
Well, $18 an hour back then, even the top paid guys around here were only making 12.
Right.
So for me to drive there, I was like, oh yeah, that's crazy. And then when the guy was like, hey, you want to flash a skylight for me this weekend?
Yeah.
Everybody else up there, they were fat cats making over $20 an hour. And they're like, no, I only need to work 5 days a week.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I'm taking this as much as I can get it right now.
Now, with Barslow Construction, do you, on days like this, do you call your guys 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning and say, look, it's snowing out, it's 20-something degrees, just stay in bed, wear your jammies all day, put on your favorite movie, drink some milk, eat some sugar cookies, put on your fluffy, fuzzy slippers, and relax all day?
Paid. Doesn't everybody?
Do you do that?
If I could do that.
Or do you call your guys and say, what the fuck, man? It's 7 o'clock. We got to do this roof. It's snowing out. I don't give a shit. We need you on the site.
The cool thing about me and my guys is I've been in the trenches before.
Right.
So I understand what it's like to be out there. And I'm not going to ask anybody on my crew to do anything that I have not done myself.
That right there. Stop. That right there is what we need more business owners to say and more managers to say those words right
That's
there.
why people like working for me.
Not only say those words, but follow through with it and prove it.
Yeah.
When somebody's out.
So just
I like that.
My point is because I went out this morning and I noticed that it was cold out this morning. So the first thing I did was I went down because I've had guys on my crews that show up with, you know, boots with duct tape around their boots or whatever.
Exactly.
So every single one of my guys has a $100 thermal insulated sweatshirt. They have that. Every single one of my guys has a Carhartt jacket, insulated Carhartt jacket. Today I just went and got every single one of them insulated bibs. So because I've been out there, I understand it. When my guys call me up and they're like, "Hey man, it's fucking 15 below." The
wind is whipping.
The wind is whipping. The guns are freezing up. I've been there. You know what? I say, "Hey man, go get in the trailer, get in your truck, get warmed up. If it's too cold, go home." You know, that's that. And then guys, I've had guys say, "Hey, I can't afford to go home." No, you go home and I'll pay you for the rest of the day. Go home.
Barslow Construction.
Just the way it is. You got to take care of your people if you want them to take care of you. It's a really simple concept. You can choose to screw as many people as you want to try to get better.
And cut corners.
Yeah, well, just, you know, you can not so much cut corners, but you can take advantage of people.
Right.
And that's your own. You're just creating your own karma, your own bad karma.
And we have seen this transparently play out on social media just recently. There was some guy up in St. Johnsbury who came down and did a bathroom job for someone here.
I saw that. Eric Daniels there. Yeah, because I reached out to him.
You reached out.
Absolutely.
Barslow Construction said, "Hey, here we are. Let's talk about this. How can we help?"
Yeah. Well, I reached out to him because I knew he was doing a legal battle, and you know, I saw that, and I said, "Hey, man, if you need me to come up, I've been to these. If you need me to come up, you need someone, an expert testimony or anything like that." I said, because what he did is real shitty, and that's not. It shouldn't be allowed. To happen to people. And
this local guy got hosed out of $10K for a job that was far from completed.
Yeah, they went and they gutted his bathroom and then left.
Right.
So I get this a lot around here. I just did a big job over here in Barrie. It's a beautiful kitchen that we did. We opened it up, put a beam in. It was beautiful. Yeah. And you know, that lady had some contractors in there and just shady things. Really, like some of the things. And it's weird. Like this contractor came back after like 3 years. He's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, you owe me $2,500. I need the money, or I'm going to sue you." She's like, "What?" She goes, "Produce me a bill of where I owe this to you." And he's like, "No, you just got to do it, or I'm going to sue you."
Yeah.
And that same guy, matter of fact, I think that same guy, Dwayne Tucker, just went to court against him. He tried to do the same thing to Dwayne and lost.
Wow.
Yeah. It's crazy, some of the things that people.
Yeah.
So I'm big. I will call people out on stupid shit like that.
I love that you do. Few people do. They don't want to get involved. They will duck and dodge. You air the shit out. I love that.
But the problem is this is my industry. This is our business. And if we don't regulate ourselves, guess what's going to happen? Some government official is going to come up with the bright idea to regulate us and have them do it because too many people are getting screwed. So let's take out our own trash. Let's take care of our own problems. Don't leave it up to the government to take care of those problems when we can do it ourselves.
Yeah.
With very simple methods. Call the guy out. Be like, "Yo, guy.
Yeah.
What you're doing is really shitty.
Yeah.
You shouldn't do that."
I love that about you.
I wouldn't do that. You know what I mean?
I do. And so is the phone ringing at Barslow Construction?
All the time, man.
Are we backed up with jobs right now?
Right now, I am working for Samantha Hiscock.
Okay.
Samantha Hiscock has a huge project up on Mill Street in East Barrie. It's the old East Barrie Market. It's a 3-story market up there.
Oh, yeah.
We've gutted that.
Right up next to Vermont Flannel.
Yes, right next door. Great people up there. So we've got it gutted. We've started putting it all back together. The plumbers, electricians are in there. We've got the third floor 85% of the way done. We're on our way to completing it.
Mm-hmm.
But
that was the old market there.
Yeah. That one, we just finished Enough Ministries. We did their roof over there for Dan Malin.
Dan, he was just in here.
Yeah, Dan's a good guy. Did he tell you about...
Did you know he's a colonel?
He was a colonel, yeah, and he used to teach the combatives in Afghanistan and stuff.
Have you talked with him about that?
Absolutely.
The guy's a badass.
Yeah.
It just so happens to be a pastor, too, a man of God. But he's a great guy.
He loved it when he found out we put a boxing ring inside the church up there.
Oh, did he? Has he been up to see that?
Not yet, but he will. We'll get him and Randy up there.
Wow.
Randy Swan.
We'll be talking about Granite City MMA here in just a little bit.
Yeah.
But so go ahead. Continue with this job site that you're at here.
So she got a bunch of, there was a program for landlords to get money to upgrade their buildings.
Yeah.
So she did a lot more than just upgrade. I mean, she went above and beyond. She gutted the entire third floor. They spray foamed insulation. She's got brand new windows. I mean, it completely brand new. The whole thing, all up to date. They're going to be sweet, and it's for low income. She created 5 new low income housing.
We need it. We need it a lot.
Yep. She's on the new board that they made here in Barrie City for
the housing task force.
Housing task force. Yes, she's on that task force.
Wow.
And that's what they need. They need someone because she's aggressive. She's You know, she's another one. We were talking about it today. She was a single mother making $14,000 a year when she decided to she bought down this house that was absolutely falling apart, duplex. It was just a piece of shit. And I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but it was. And she fixed it up and flipped it. And that's how she started making money with. But so she did it as a single mom, making $14,000 a year. Wow. If you want to be something, you want to be successful, you just got to want it.
You have to want it badly enough. You can want it and not achieve it, but if you want it badly enough, nothing's going to stop
such
you.
Thing. If you want it, you can achieve it.
Well, you got to want it badly enough, though, Rex.
Unless, of course, you're paraplegic, then you're probably not gonna.
Oh boy, you know, I said this morning that you don't sugarcoat anything. My God. What was I just going to say?
I don't know. Probably something good about me.
The housing crisis. I'm not sure if you've ever seen Cody Morrison, but he's the...
Yes, he was actually... I was leaving the gym when he was coming in up at... He went up and met with Lucas.
With Lucas.
Yeah.
So Cody Morrison is the Barrie area development, Barrie Town and Barrie City. He sits here every Monday morning, like clockwork, every Monday morning at 9 o'clock. He sits here and we chew the fat about Barrie and Barrie Town.
Nice.
For an hour. We talk about new businesses, what's coming in, what's going out, why they're going out, why they're coming in.
That's why I told Dave Sheridan he needs to be advertising with you. I was like, this is the best. So just a little shout out to JD because he's always giving me shout outs. But this is the best place as a small business in the Central Vermont area to advertise with. I've spent thousands of dollars on on television, radio, but the problem that I had is I reached more people outside of my service area than I did inside. Every single person that calls me from this podcast is a local job. It's right here. So
I love that, man.
Yeah, I don't have any better place locally wise that I could spend my advertising money.
Wow,
to get that kind of response.
Well, thank you, my man.
Absolutely.
Jesus. That's great to hear that. My God.
Yeah, that's what I was telling Dave Sheridan. That's how I ran into Dave. We were having our morning meeting coffee with the homeowners and stuff this morning at the Graniteville General Store, and that's what we were talking about. I was like, dude, seriously, you're growing, you're getting big. I was like, start spending your advertising dollars, and I said, here's one of the best places you could spend your money.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
You know, Cody and I are always talking about housing and the housing crisis and what's being done about it. And I know that you are very dialed into the trades. Cody is bringing on to the podcast here real soon, real soon. We're going to be talking with Chrissy Bellavins from Bellavins Trucking about the trucking industry and getting the CDL and how they're paying for all that. But we're also going to be talking with the head honches, the big cheeses over at the Central Vermont Career Center and the Spalding Trades.
Yep.
And just the trade industry in general and what's coming out of a mile and a half down the road.
Yeah, I think we're starting to run it. It's starting to get to the point where you can put more people into this trade, but we need to start finding ways to streamline permit processes and stuff. Right. It's getting kind of silly and kind of redundant. Like you have to hire, so you have to get a state licensed electrician. Okay, just an example. I'm not bashing anybody, please. I'm not getting political. This is from my own experience, my own life experience, my perspective. Everybody has their own. But so we have a licensed, in the state of Vermont, you have to have a licensed electrician. And he has to come in and he has to make sure this work is done right. He has to spend a lot of money on that license. He has to get certified over and over and over again. But before we can close up them walls, we have to call a state inspector to inspect the license inspector's inspection. Does that make sense to you? Why have a licensed inspector, a licensed electrician who you've licensed and deemed good enough to do electrical work in the state of Vermont, but not grown up enough to close up the walls and say that's good enough?
It makes a hell of a lot of sense if you're trying to waste a lot of time.
Same thing with a plumber. Yeah. So here you are. This is like one of the things that was going on up at Samantha's job is, you know, the plumbers have been done. The plumber gets done. The electrician. Now it's, wait a minute. We have to put a halt to everything else because this guy has to come up here. He has to look around. Basically, they look around and make sure that the electrician that you gave a license to actually knew what he was doing.
Right.
And
it's amazing how there's too much Mickey Mouse being played over here, but there should be more played over here in this area because there's a ton of ducking and dodging going on.
There's so much money out there to be spent if we get government out of our lives. And whether it's on a national level, whether it's on a state level, whether it's just on our local level, the less government redundancy, the more money, the happier people will be.
Yeah. Just got a comment here. Government will only force costs up. So
that's all they're good at.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I know that you guys are doing indoor jobs, outdoor jobs. You guys never stop. Never stop. No matter what
we
the
work
weather.
year round because a lot of people ask me. The only roofs that we don't do in the winter is rubber.
Yeah.
I just don't do rubber roofs. It's just too much of a hassle to do. But everything else, we do roofing, we do siding.
BarslowConstruction.com.
Yeah.
And on Facebook.
No, I don't think I don't have a website. I just have the Facebook.
Just the Facebook page.
Just
all
the
you
Facebook.
need.
DonnyBrooke's got all the website because that's run by my social media mogul, my daughter.
We want to talk about DonnyBrooke Fight Promotion, of course. We have a lot to get to, a lot to talk about amateur MMA and everything that you're doing with DonnyBrooke Fight Promotions. But first, I want to ask you about the armbar technique for Patrick Lucy. How is it coming? Does he have it down?
Patrick's armbar?
Yeah.
Dude, I can't stop Patrick. Patrick is an animal. Like, he is, I don't want to say a phenom, but pretty close. Like, he's the next BJ Penn from around here. I don't see anybody.
Come on.
Oh, no. The way that he sucks in the information from Brazilian Jiu is like nothing I've ever seen.
So you're suggesting he could take me?
Yeah, there's very few people. Like, I challenge anyone to beat the shit out of Patrick Lucy because Patrick's that tough, and it's not going to happen.
Now, what about John?
I don't know. I don't see John anymore. I train with Patrick, so I can talk for Patrick.
Right.
But like I said, I challenge anyone to grab a hold and throw Patrick down on the ground, see what happens.
Challenge me?
Yeah, absolutely.
You put your money on
I don't
Patrick?
even. He's younger than I am. I don't even roll around with him because those young guys, those young strong guys, are just. I don't want no part of that.
The Battle in Barrie 6 is coming fast. February.
Wait a minute.
February 19th.
Yeah, go ahead. We can get into that.
Can we?
Yeah.
Let's run down the bullet points here.
Perfect.
February 19th.
Yes, Matt Probin, former Bellator fighter.
Barrie Auditorium.
February 19th.
DonnyBrookeFightPromotions.com.
Yes.
New website.
Yes.
Looks like $1 million, dude.
So
whoever did it did a great job.
So what we did is we switched our distributors. We use a local distributor, Granite City Graphics. Another one I was just telling about with the advertising. He's going to come down and see you. Travis Oaks, great dude. So he does any of our stuff that you order. As soon as you order it, we send it over to him, and then he ships it out within like 10 days. You'll have it right on your doorstep, made and in your doorstep. So one of the cool things that we started on there, because not a lot of fighters can afford to do it on their own and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, and amateur fighters don't make any money. So what we started doing is anybody, if you have a favorite fighter and you want to show support, you can go onto our website. We have fighter shirts on there. It has their name and their gym on the back of it, and it has our logo that says train hard, fight easy. But so say you want to come and you want to watch Mikey Morris fight. Because of the Mikey Morris, everybody, all of his friends can buy a Mikey Morris shirt and show their support. So you'll have 20 Mikey Morris guys walking around or whatnot.
Whose brilliant idea was this? Yours?
Yeah. Actually, okay. I'll admit it.
Travis.
Kind of like no. I stole this from another promotion, and we were over there, and I saw these guys walking around with these support shirts on. I was like, that is a fabulous idea. Except I'm going to do it one better. Instead of having to try to find that fighter and everything else, there's one local place they can go to. They can go right to my website, do it right there because we have the printing stations, we have the advertising, we have the resources to get it out there for everybody.
Wow.
So, yeah, you can buy your tickets. I just got a table back. One person had to cancel a table, so I have one table available, and that's $5.99.
Okay. And I'm just taking notes here, so, as I always do when you and I talk.
And then the local fight. So we have 2 local fighters.
Talk to me.
That is going to be Bruce Richards and Josh Hardy.
Josh is right here.
Oh, yeah, no shit.
Yeah, he's right here.
Yeah, so Josh.
He's texting us, right?
Josh fought and beat Bruce's cousin, Cody Toby, who's also on the card. But this is going to be a barn burner right here. I'm super excited. So Bruce works up at...
Where do these guys train?
They're both independents right now. Josh, I think, has been training. The last time I saw him, he was training up at UFAI. Bruce has been around. I mean, Bruce has 58 amateur fights. Wow. Crazy. He had never had any real formal training. His training was like every Friday and Saturday night he would fight. He would fight here in Barrie on a Friday and Saturday in New York. He was that crazy.
Big Ed is watching here, too.
Big Ed.
So what's going on with Ed Collins?
So Big Ed Collins, we're going to talk about that afterwards because that's part of the Granite City MMA stuff that we got going on.
All right. So let's wrap up with DonnyBrooke Fight Promotions.
Yes. So the next one that we just added was Don Walton from Alliance out of New York is going to fight the DonnyBrooke amateur champion Romano Medina.
Oh,
everybody remembers the Romano Medina fight. If you don't, all I got to say is the door cage opened up. Everybody remembers who it is. But Romano Medina turned pro. So he's making his pro debut against Don Walton for their very first pro MMA debut.
Where's Don out of?
Don Walton's out of Alliance in Schenectady, New York.
All right. Listen.
And Romano's out of Burgess MMA, Nate Lamont.
Yeah. I don't know Don, but he better bring the goods because Romano doesn't fool around.
Neither one of them fool around. This is going to be a crazy, crazy good fight.
Oh, my God.
The next one we added, so now we've talked a little bit about Bruce Richards. We got Cody Toby, his cousin, on there, is going to be fighting on the undercard against the former Street Beefs champ, Fetty.
Okay.
Tyree King. He just moved up here from Virginia, and he's training out of Granite City MMA. Tyree.
Wow.
And he'll be taking on local kid Cody Toby at an MMA fight.
I'm jotting all this down, but I really don't need to because it's all on the DonnyBrooke Fight Promotion Facebook page.
It's on the Facebook page. It's on our website. Absolutely. And another, these are great things to get for presents for Christmas.
Bruce is Cody's uncle?
Could be. Yes, that's right. It's his uncle.
And you can get DonnyBrooke beanies?
Yep. You can get DonnyBrooke beanies.
Patrick Lucy wants one of those.
Nice.
And
I'll see Patrick tonight. Tell him to take it easy on
Ed is saying, don't worry about me, JD. Don Walton is the guy to watch. Promise.
Okay. So there's more to that story. And we'll talk about it when we're not on the air. Let me just say, Ed went and trained with Don Walton.
Okay.
And Don Walton is a 155-pound fighter.
Okay.
So those are just a few. Mikey Morris is going to be coming back. We're going to find him. We're going to get him a matchup at 145 pounds.
That guy is incredible. What a damn fight.
I know. I actually went to Thai Monday night, and I was watching his hands again. I was like, and he hit them pads, and bang, bang, bang. I was like, oh, my God.
You know what's amazing?
And I said to Dwayne Daddy, and I said to him, because they were the two young kids. They're the two youngest one. One's 15, and then there's Mikey, who's 18.
18, yeah.
And they were both hitting pads, and it was lightning fast and so hard. Just beautiful technique. And I looked at Dwayne, I said, could you imagine being in high school and picking a fight with one of them two kids? You're like, I'm going to beat up that little skinny kid over there.
Yeah. He's lethal, man.
Yeah.
And you know what impressed me so much about Mikey is the way he handled the result of that fight at the Barry Auditorium.
Well, that's one thing with the Granite City Fighters is they only they don't want to have to deal with Lucas, and they know they're like win, lose or draw. You keep your mouth shut. That's just it's a respectful thing. That's all the fighters know that come out of that camp. They're not they're not going to run around being hoodlums, and it's just not.
Or they have to answer to Lucas. Yeah.
Because you're representing his gym when you do that. He doesn't want somebody acting like a fool representing his gym.
That's right.
I don't know why I'm still there, but
many are wondering. Many are wondering. Tickets.
Yes.
DonnyBrookeFightPromotions.com or go to the Facebook page.
You can go to the Facebook page. They can come here to the studio. They get a hold of you. You have tickets.
We've got tickets that are, I think, $40 a pop plus tax. We have them right here. Bring cash. We'll get you your tickets. Raylene's got them right here behind the desk.
Yep. We also have
stocking stuffer idea. My God.
Oh, I know.
I mean,
right?
That's it right there.
And once you go to one of these live shows,
look at me.
Crazy. They're so much fun.
Tell everybody about me and my first experience.
Think about Barry City. We don't have a lot of things going on all the time. So
that's right.
I'm not even into basketball.
Right.
But I used to go watch the professional basketball games up there just because of the live experience to get out and do that. Just I encourage it. Bring your family. Come once. Try it once. And you will be hooked. You will absolutely be hooked.
Testimony right here.
Yeah.
You brought me up there for the first one at Battle in Barry. I don't remember what number. 4.
Yep.
I had never been to an MMA fight, amateur or pro.
Right.
Nothing. Never even been to a boxing match. And you told me, JD,
that was Mark Coleman. That was the first
that was
time.
Coleman. Yes, the hammer. You told me. You said, JD, I'm warning you. You're about to get addicted. I was like, well, come on, man. All these guys are punching each other, beating each other up. Can we all just get along? Why do we have to do this? I got up there, and within minutes, I'm punch him in the face.
I know.
Josh Howard's asking, is it kid friendly?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. We sell alcohol there. There's food there. There's alcohol there. But, you know, that's one thing. Our refs have a talk with all the fighters, and we remind them that there's going to be kids in the stand.
Yeah.
You know, don't say the way we explain it to the fighters during our pre-fight is when you before you say something to somebody, that could be your grandmother, your little sister, your mom out there. So just be careful. Just remember that before you say something out there. It's just a respectful thing. I mean, we're all adults.
Right.
It's just, but we're not out there trying to be vulgar and trying to.
I would,
and we have security there. We have police there. We have, you know, so it's very, very safe and friendly.
I mean, I wouldn't say there's a million kids in the audience, but there are some younger kids in there. And I also, you know, Lily wants to come too. She's 7. But as long as you explain to your kids that this is an art, this is an ancient art that goes back however many years. Thousands.
Yeah, it's just it's
a
I wouldn't even say that. It's a sporting event, just like any other sporting event.
Yeah,
that's all it is. But it's two
also
people trying to challenge themselves to find out who's better trained.
And these are critical life skills.
Yes,
self-defense.
Absolutely.
Self-defense.
So and not every
a great option than a gun or a knife.
Absolutely. This is just. And I don't think it takes the place of a gun or a knife, though.
Yeah, I know. You've said that before.
I mean, because I carry a gun and I can more than handle myself. But I carry a gun. My first line of defense is always a gun.
I want Lily to learn self-defense because she's dealing with some punk ass college kid and I'm too old and fat to deal with that kid. I want her to be able to fight her own battles.
And that's the thing is every female, I think, should learn self-defense Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
I think that, and the reason is because they are more. So for me, the only way that I end up on the ground is say somebody punches me, they cheap shot me, or the guy just happened to be a pretty good striker. He knocked me down on the ground. And it's because of a fight, and it's usually because of a fight that I started anyway because I was being a dumbass. But women very rarely get into that situation. So a guy, if he doesn't get into a huge ground game, he can avoid a fight and not, you know, if he doesn't get into, he may not need to learn it as much as a woman. The reason I say that is because if a woman ends up in that situation, it's a very bad situation. I know that bunny suit. I wish I had a carrot. I wish I had a carrot.
We just had somebody come up here holding a sign up earlier that said Commando. There's some really weird shit that's going on.
I have no clue, but there's a guy with a bunny head on there.
There's weird, really weird shit that's happening here at the podcast today with these hooligans that keep showing up on the other side of the glass here.
It's kind of creeping me out at this point.
This is not Easter.
No. Oh no, that's why it's kind of creeping me out.
This is it looks like he's coming in here.
Oh no.
It looks like he's coming in here. We have Oh.
I don't speak that bunny language.
There's a full-grown adult here in the building wearing a bunny suit who is threatening Rex Thompson right now I think he wants to get on the card, buddy.
That was a little crazy.
I have no idea what this is about.
You should probably think of locking your doors.
But I know that he's in the building now, and we have
someone have a rabid bunny in your building
who wants to take your ass on. Did you see the posturing?
Bunny foo.
He's pointing to his watch. He wants to take you on, dude.
Not today, JD. Not today. I don't know what kind of stunt that just was.
My gosh.
What the hell were we just talking about now?
Just the importance of women learning how to defend themselves.
Yeah.
And then you had a bunny rabbit show up behind you.
Then a bunny rabbit showed up here.
Wow. You can't make this shit up, bud.
No. No, you can't. I'm going to stop advertising what times I'm going to be here.
Should we fire him? Fire the Nerf gun at him? Shoot him! Put the bunny in the crock pot! Yeah. You need a bullet.
Yeah.
But
story of my life.
Seriously, and you guys are hammering this away. The importance of when what is too young for.
So this is the way that we do it. So let me get right into the Granite City MMA so we moved up to Lucas bought the old St. Sylvester's gym.
Yes.
So we have the St. Sylvester's gym up there. There is a 26 by 26 boxing ring inside of there. There's a 20 by 20 cage in there. Then we have a 36 by 40 mat area. We're having custom made brackets that are going to be made to hang our bags around so we can do all of our bags.
What are you talking, like 5 times bigger than the old Granite City MMA?
Yeah, it's enormous. There's like 6,000, 7,000 square feet, something like that.
Lucas and you and the rest of you guys must be in your glory, man.
Dude, it's awesome. So now we have the space, we have the room to add the classes on, which brings me to the first class that we added on. Because now he has this, he's created this school. And the way this school works is from the years of 5 years old to 5 to 11, 5 to 12, whichever it is, we have a wrestling program.
Steve Rich.
Yes, everybody knows Steve Rich. Steve Rich, Coach Rich, and Patrick Lucy. Patrick Lucy is the assistant coach. So they're heading up the kids' youth program. So this is where they're going to learn discipline. They're going to learn the base grappling, what they need to know, takedowns, stuff like that. Then from there they can go to the kids' jiu-jitsu class. Because one thing about jiu-jitsu, unlike other arts, if you go, you do just whatever other art, you do your karate, you do taekwondo, whatever you do, you're less apt to permanently maim somebody with those,
right? Versus
jiu-jitsu. So they have to be mature enough, in order to do Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
Of course. This is the
it's one thing if you're giving another kid a black eye. It's another thing if you hold a choke too long and they die.
Sure.
If you explode into an arm lock or a key lock and you bust their wrist or spiral fracture their forearms, those are permanently maiming injuries, heel hook. So you want the kids to be, so now he's created this where you have your 5 to 12-year-olds, then from your 12 to 15 is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu kids.
Awesome.
From 15 years old, that's when they can get into striking. That's when they can get into Muay Thai and go from there. So now we have all of the kids coming straight up through who by the time they're animals, if they want to be a professional MMA fighter, they will, that opportunity is there 100%.
So when is Patrick Lucy and Steve Rich pulling the trigger on
every
this?
Tuesday and Thursday, starting January 4th, if they reach out to the Granite City page, to Lucas John or me, we'll pre-register their child.
Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Yep, from 5 to 6.
Okay. Right there.
Yep.
On Churchill Road.
223 Churchill Road. So that's the first class that we added, was the kids wrestling, so that we're creating all of these. It gives these guys opportunities. The wrestling program is based around discipline, structure, and fundamentals. We're not trying to take away from any wrestling programs. We're not trying to take away from BYSA. Those things are seasonal.
Yeah.
We want them to have a year-round so that they can get extra practices in, where they can really pound the fundamentals in, their takedowns, that stuff.
How do we have any kids registered yet?
Oh, yes. I think I have 14, 15 kids registered already. Yep.
Just from advertising on social media.
Yeah, we haven't even really advertised it, except for we did a couple posts and that's it. But
Steve and Patrick must be thrilled.
Oh yeah, Steve's a super good coach. Patrick's really good with kids. So and we have a bunch of wrestlers there because they're all there helping Ed get ready for his next fight. The other class that we're adding that's going to start January 3rd, which is a Monday, is traditional Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It's a beginner's course. It's for people that have never done martial arts. They probably don't want to compete in Jiu-Jitsu, but they want to learn self-defense. They want to learn. This class is not to train you how to fight other fighters. That's the advanced class. Lucas teaches those. That's the advanced BJJ. That's the class I'm in.
Yeah.
That's the Muay Thai class. Those classes are the advanced classes if you want to learn how to fight other fighters.
Right.
This class is specifically as you're walking down the street, a drunk picks a fight with you, and you're with your wife, your kids, and you need to either control them or get away from them, or you're a female, you're a college student female that is alone in a dorm room and you need to get away from a guy.
Wow.
So that's what
January 3rd that starts.
That starts January 3rd, and that's also 5 to 6. That's on Mondays and Wednesdays, and I'll be teaching that one.
Mondays and Wednesdays from 5 to 6 p.
Yep. So I'll take you and I'll take them through and I'll show them basic fundamentals of striking, basic fundamentals of takedowns, lapel chokes, throws, lots of wrist locks. Then we'll move down to the ground stuff that's required. So you'll be able to get your blue belt through that beginner's course, and then from there you'll move on. If you want to go further, you'd go into the advanced class with all the advanced students, and you can learn gi and no gi at that point too.
Having this knowledge, this skill set in your pocket, and carrying that around through your life, knowing that you have some basic skill sets to be able to protect yourself and allow yourself to get out of a situation, not necessarily injure someone else with as the ultimate goal, but rather remove yourself to a safe situation.
If you have bouncers,
amazing.
You own a bar and you have bouncers, your bouncer should be doing jiu-jitsu.
Yes.
If you're a law enforcement, you should be doing jiu-jitsu, and I'll tell you why. The proof is in the pudding. Who has more contact, more fights than anybody besides people that train?
Right.
Is going to be your cops and your bouncers.
We talked about that just a few days ago.
I just ran into the Barrytown cops. There's a bunch of new young guys, and they got invited to go to Burlington. I was like, we're literally 5 minutes down the road now from you guys. So I invited them to the gym. They were really good guys.
They been in there yet?
No.
They got to get in there.
But they got I guess they got a bunch of new young guys. And, I told them Lucas would probably work with them for their schedule. So the police force up there.
It's got to happen.
And I won't mention it because I don't know if how much they let out or whatever. But so there's a police force here in Vermont.
Mm-hmm.
And they are paying their officers to get all the way to blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yep.
Since their officers have started doing that, they've had a 60% reduction in use of force.
Isn't that amazing? The number of videos that are out there in the world of the internet.
But the cops that are training act so much different. They're calmer. They can control people easier. And, that's what me and the two cops we were talking about. I was like, if you want people in the community to like you, don't submit people with punches to the face or with a taser. And they laugh. They're like, no, absolutely. He's like, we talked about this at the academy and stuff.
Yeah.
And, they're on it. The young guys are on it. They want to learn jiu-jitsu and stuff.
The number of videos that exist that show law enforcement situations gone horribly wrong.
100%.
The number of videos that are out there are unbelievable. You've shown me just half a dozen of situations where their guns, their firearms were taken away from them. In other situations where if they had some basic BJJ knowledge, they would have diffused that situation.
They would have diffused it, or they would have broke their freaking shoulders off when they tried to take their guns.
Right.
And that's, I don't know. It's hard to explain. I think those are the types of people that need this the most. Like I said, a bouncer.
Yeah.
Because I can remember getting bounced out of these places around here, and all they were was big, ugly dudes like Levi Beach, punch me in the face all the way out the door. So it was train your bouncers to kick people out nicely.
Today's paper right here. State police actively recruiting.
Wow.
It's in the paper today. So, do we need more state cops that should be coming over and checking out Granite City MMA?
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I guess it depends on what direction they want their force to go.
Listen, your wife's pissed off.
She's always is. She's been married to me for 23 years.
She's pissed because you're chewing gum on the air.
Uh-oh.
And she's getting after you here.
She loves that.
She's getting after you here. How's the family? How are the kids? How's everybody over there?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're pretty much a boring little family. We all work together. We train together.
That is, you're not boring. There's always interesting things going on over there.
But we don't. I mean, there's not. But we don't do a lot. We're either at the gym, we're at Lucas's house, we're out in New York watching fights, we're in Massachusetts watching fights, or I'm here on Aired Out.
Is Granite City MMA completely out of the old location above the House of Tang?
I believe so. I believe he has everything.
So we're all moved in.
Yep.
And look at this. We've got, like you said, there's a cage set up in there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's an MMA cage. There's a boxing ring inside of there.
But that's amazing.
All on one floor. That's not even 2 floors or anything. That's all on one floor.
I mean, here's one of the reasons why that's amazing is because a fighter in training who's taking this advanced course but hasn't yet been in the cage.
Right.
The first time that prior to this that they stepped into a cage was during one of these big DonnyBrooke Fight Promotions events.
Right.
And it was their first time being in that cage, being under the lights.
Definitely gives them an advantage.
Familiarity,
it's one thing.
man.
Yeah, it's one thing to train,
yes,
on the mats with your friends or whatnot, but it's different. So, and that's one thing that Lucas is trying to do is he'll set up with between schools so that they can do little tournaments and stuff like that, do MMA tournaments in between schools. And so it's not, they're getting that experience without actually going on their record and all that stuff.
Do we know if Lucas is watching right now?
I don't think so because he's at work right now.
All right.
I'll let you know. He'll message me, hey, ass.
Yeah.
Something stupid, yeah.
I'm just wondering, if I were to get into a Speedo, grease myself up with Vaseline, and run around the inside of this cage, would Lucas be able to catch me?
Yeah, it's a small cage. There's nowhere to run.
Yeah, but if I'm lubed up with Vaseline, how's he going to catch me?
He'd catch you.
Are you? Come on.
He would love to grab a hold of you all lubed up in Vaseline.
Should we try that sometime? Put some money on it. We'll go over there. We'll lock the doors. We'll pull the shades down. We'll drink some beers, and if people get their wallets out, we'll put some cash on it.
Now it's getting really weird. You want to get lubed up with Vaseline and have a few drinks with some guys.
As long as Ed Collins isn't there, I'm good. Oh, my God. February 19th is coming fast, brother. Fast. You said you've got one table that's available right up front against the cage.
Yep.
Way to get it? DonnyBrooke Fight Promotions.
Yes, they have to message you if they want that table.
Did you tell Justin Lawrence about it?
He has a table. Him and Louis Moot have a table already.
All right.
So that one's taken care of.
Other ways to get tickets. I mean, that's it. How much are the tickets? I mean, they're
$40 general admission, and then we front row $65.
Okay.
$55 for the other chairs down there, and then $5.99 for a table.
You've had a couple of months to reflect on the last events up there at the auditorium.
Yep.
What's being done differently? Anything?
First thing was getting the cage door fixed.
Yeah.
To make sure that never happens again. We're going to be putting a double locking system on it. So that's at the machine shop, and they're going to take care of that. Getting fighters licensed faster. Getting more fighters licensed. We need more fighters. They need to just get the licensing process done.
Right.
That's the hardest part, is just guys getting licensed up. Takes a minute. We can take care of all the medicals right there at the show. Mm-hmm. So the night before, we have a doctor there, and he's set up with the state, so he emails it right over. So they can do everything. They can fill it out. They can pay for it. They can do all of that stuff. And then when they get to the show, we'll run their medicals through, and they'll be ready for the fight the next day. Super simple.
You, and with the help of others, and DonnyBrooke Fight Promotions is kind of stamped as getting the credit for getting amateur MMA sanctioned in the state of Vermont. How has the reception been so far since you were able to get before the legislature and talk about this sport with, frankly, a lot of Vermont legislators that aren't really familiar with amateur MMA? How's the reception been so far?
I'm glad that part of it's over.
Have they been to a fight?
Yes.
Have they had a couple of beers and screamed?
Absolutely.
Punch him in the face.
Samantha was there.
Yeah. Was she getting into it?
You know it.
All right. So the reception so far has been well.
Yeah. So the biggest thing is other promoters and gyms from out of state, now that it's sanctioned up here.
Yeah.
That's a huge thing for them. No credit, I can't take away from the people that, fought this for years, trying to get this up here and getting up to what we had, the partial sanctioning that we had, So I didn't do it by myself. I was able to help finish it.
Yeah.
That's pretty much.
Yeah. DeRochers, he's going to be there February 19th, right?
Oh, yeah. Mike,
he will be.
Absolutely. Yeah, so that's another big news. So Mike actually took over UFAI up in Burlington. He owns the building now. He has the instructors. Crew and Deb are working for him, teaching the Thai, but they made the building a little bit smaller, but they still have their striking program. They still have their BJJ. Mike just came back from California. He was out there with subconscious BJJ, got his 2nd degree black belt. So pretty cool things going on up there with those guys. They have the law enforcement combatives up there already, done by Gavin Wageman.
Yeah.
Because I think he's a South Burlington cop.
Yeah. So
he's the one. He's also a black belt under Mike D.
Yeah.
So lots of big things for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in Vermont.
Yeah. And Tap Out Cancer. let's go there.
Yeah, Sean did good. He took second place down there, raised a bunch of money. I mean, doesn't matter what they place in for an event like that. That's just fun to go down and roll with a bunch of other guys.
Were you able to go down and catch that?
No. We were in New York prospecting Ed's next fight. That's where we were.
Let's talk about Crazy Ed.
This is super exciting.
Talk to me.
So, first of all, shout out to his sponsor, Kidder's Smokehouse, Brent Kidder. Brent always sponsors Ed Collins for his fights and stuff. So Ed has had a hankering to fight this guy in New York for quite a while. He went and saw him fight a couple years ago, and he couldn't believe how everybody was like just mesmerized by this guy. I mean, the guy's pretty. He really is. He's got tattoos all over him, big muscles. He's cute as hell. You know, so I think maybe Ed was maybe just a little jealous because Ed doesn't have the physique that this guy has.
Ooh.
So, I mean, was it really the competition or was he jealous of the physique? One way or another, Ed wants to beat him up for one of those reasons, and I don't know which one it is, but...
Ed's kind of an ugly motherfucker, though. Just in general.
That is not true. We were in Vegas, and this beautiful Mexican man walked up to him and just said how beautiful his hair was and stuff, so I disagree with you.
Wow.
So
who's he fighting?
We went out to Cage Wars in New York, and we watched the guy out there who I think is ranked top 5 in all of the Northeast at 205 pounds. He's the Cage Wars champion. His name is Corey Norman. Huge athlete, big, strong guy, big wrestler. So Ed went and watched him fight, and then after the fight, asked the promoter if he could fight him for the belt. And so since that day, the promoter said yes, he would love to have him fight. Ed has been living in the gym, absolutely killing himself to prepare for this fight.
Huh.
And when I say killing himself, I mean killing himself.
Really?
Yeah. So proud of what those guys are doing inside that gym, especially training for these fights. They're like...
Yeah. I'm just taking notes here. I'm just writing stuff down. You know, I always learn an awful lot from you and having you on.
Yep. We were waiting
learning.
because Steve Bogan holds the #1 spot.
Okay.
And Ed wanted to fight him because he was in the #1 spot.
Yeah.
But Steve has a lot of personal things going on, and he's unable to fight.
Yeah.
So, you know, I can't, even though it's not my promotion, and I would love for Ed to have that fight over here and stuff like that, I can't ask one of my fighters or one of my friends or anybody to not fight for another promotion because I don't like them or whatever the reason is. I would never do that because that's his career. That's his life. I mean, to try to mess up somebody's life or career for whatever petty reason, I would never do that. That's why I get along with everybody. I get along with, Premier down there. I get along with her, Karen. I get along with Slim, Tim over at Cage, where I get along with everybody. I don't mess with nobody. And I encourage the fighters, especially amateur fighters, because I don't want an amateur fighter stuck in one place because then all it is only the people around here either like him or hate him.
Yeah.
So if these guys are traveling around and everybody's getting to know them, then you bring in a whole demographic of people to come in and see this fighter fight. So why wouldn't you want your fighters to get more exposed and go around? I mean, and it's not my decision or anything; it's Lucas's decision. But that's one of the things as a promoter, we never tell somebody not to go fight somewhere. Absolutely, gather as many fans as you can, so that we can get them up here, too, to watch you.
And we should also say that, man, if you're just curious about what Granite City MMA is about, you live here in Central Vermont, take some time out and just zip over. It's 5 minutes from here.
If you've never done any kind of martial art,
even if you're, frankly, not interested, you should still walk through the doors of the new Granite City MMA up on Churchill Road. Is that Graniteville or Websterville?
Websterville.
Just walk in and see what we're doing here in Central Vermont, which is so impressive.
Yeah, it's huge.
It's amazing.
It's a huge facility, and it's just incredible.
But if you're even remotely interested in getting in shape, finding an outlet during the winter to get moving around.
So what he's doing is he's slowly building up because he works full time also.
Yeah.
So there's other like us, like I'm taking up a class for him, and that'll be the beginner's class. Those guys.
Yeah.
Ed will probably end up taking up like a beginner's Thai class, but it'll come. So the other thing that they will be looking into will be like a cardio kickboxing for women and stuff like that. But
that's awesome.
There's just only so many hours, so many slotted times during the day, and we have all of our normal. We have to get in our regular BJJ, our beginners, our wrestling pro. You know what I mean? So in 5 days a week.
I'm wondering,
because 6 days Saturday is when we do open mat all day.
How is this not a full-time thing for Lucas?
Because he was down at the House of Tang and we outgrew that spot. So we didn't have enough room to advertise to get more people, but we didn't have enough money to get a bigger spot.
Right.
So it was a really hard conundrum, and then that's how he got this lucky situation.
And now there's plenty of room for plenty of people.
Plenty of room, plenty of growth, and so eventually you'll probably see Luke doing this full time. There'll be something going on there full time.
Ought to be. Apparently, this past Saturday, Ed fought 4 guys with no rest for almost 2 hours, one after another.
Yeah. He did.
Jeez.
You should see his face. It's like all bruised up from Matt burn his forehead and eyes and everything. Yes.
I love it. And then he's working. So hard. He's a tough bastard, isn't he?
He's super tough.
Yeah.
Just a tough kid, man.
I hope he knows I'm just joking. You know, I really do think he's a very good-looking guy. Extremely good looking. Anything else that we can think of? DonnyBrooke Fight Promotion Facebook page. You got to go to the Facebook page. Check it out.
Yes.
Or the website, DonnyBrookeFightPromotions.com.
Oh, the other thing is, if anybody, if you're a small business and you want to sponsor one of our pro fights, we're accepting sponsorships right now. That gets you tagged onto all of our social media.
Yeah.
We do our replays. You do us a commercial. We'll play it at the beginning of all of our replays, so it continues to play forward and stuff like that. Yeah.
All right.
Because it's expensive to get these pro fighters. You have to pay them to fight. So it's a huge expense in order to get these guys up here. Because Matt Probin's a former Bellator fighter. You know, his last fight was in Bellator. So it costs money to get them to have these things. And, you know, the auditorium is not huge with the state expenses and stuff.
And who's Probin fighting again?
We haven't matched him up. We have a couple prospects, but it's because most of the Northeast guys, I don't know if they're just scared of Matt, because he's a tough dude. But it's probably going to be somebody out of California, Alaska, or Florida. When
the announcement drops, will you please put me on your list?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So that we can promote it, which we love to do.
Yep.
Chris Massey saying stocking stuffers acquired. I mean, we've been saying that all along. I mean, ladies,
absolutely.
If you're having a hard time figuring out what to get your guys for Christmas, get some tickets to the Battle in Barrie 6, February 19th.
Preferably floor seats next to the ring girls.
And who will the ring girls be?
The same ring girls.
The same ones.
Yes.
Same ones.
Yeah. What is it? Lexi and I can't remember the other one. Cute little girls. They're a lot of fun.
Yeah. Right here locally.
Oh, yeah. Felipe's supposed to be coming back, too.
Felipe. Man, that guy's a freaking animal.
I know. He just won a title up in Maine, too. So we're going to have him come back, and we're going to have him fight for a title down here.
Wow. Any other fighters to shine the spotlight on?
We got Mikey. We got Cody. We got... No, not right now.
Am I emceeing or was I fired the last go? Right?
Depends if you can get that guy to sponsor on another tuxedo or not. I don't know, man.
All right.
I'll have you out there in shorts and a wife beater.
Shorts or what kind of shorts are we talking about? Like shorty shorts?
Shorty shorts.
Like jogging shorty shorts from the 70s?
Like my Ranger panties.
Oh, my good Lord. You did not just say that. Thanks for coming on, Rex.
Thanks for having me, man.
Love having you, buddy. Love having you as a sponsor, too. Right out of the chute, Barslow Construction, Granite City MMA, and DonnyBrooke Fight Promotion. You hear us say those words all the time. It is an absolute honor to be promoting all of these businesses. And get Dave Sheridan in here, will you?
I know, Dave Sheridan.
What do you have to do?
I just do want to let people know that we are still booking jobs. We are still doing it. We separated 3. We hired on more people and separated 3 crews. So we are still selling jobs. We are still outbidding them.
Wow.
Call us for a free estimate.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Granite City MMA, January 3rd, January 4th. Beginners BJJ start. Beginners
and the
BJJ
wrestling
and the kids wrestling program starts January 4th
with Steve Rich and the new first ring boy, Patrick Lucy. Wants to be a ring boy.
You gotta lose a couple pounds. Yes, I am fat shaming you, Patrick.
Thanks for coming on, brother.
Thanks for having me.
Always. Man. Rex Thompson, everybody, right here. Along with Gauthier's Quality Grounds and Maintenance and Preston's Kia, also presenting sponsors. They're doing really cool things over at Preston's Kia right now. They basically have this huge table out front right there in the lobby where the kids come in. They get to make Christmas cards and Christmas ornaments, and then Preston's Kia is going to get those items into surrounding areas surrounding nursing homes, which is wonderful. So thank you, Preston's Kia. Wright Electric, Wood Doodles. We had G on yesterday. The Barry Montpelier Times Argus, ASB Financial. One of our big sponsors here at 185 North Main Street in Barrie, the home of retirementvt.com. Right across the street from the beautiful Nelson's Ace Hardware. Vermont Custom Woodworking, CW Creative, Gusto's, FGB Theaters, free movies playing this weekend at FGB Theaters. Paramount, right here in Barrie. Capitol Showplace in Montpelier. We got Elf, The Grinch. We've got Christmas Vacation and another one, and they're free for the kids. Come out this weekend. Enjoy. Barrie Area Development, Central Vermont Chamber of Commerce, Salvador and Babbitt, Fecto Homes, and Green Mountain Mulch. Thanks to Rex Thompson coming on today on Aired Out.